Hi guys, I'm making this video solely for Facebook because I have to get something off my chest. And if you didn't know that, or you didn't see the status that I wrote on Tuesday about my whole hospital deal, I'll just say what happened. Now I don't even have to explain. I just want to talk about something that's really bothering me. So I went to the hospital on Monday night at early Tuesday morning at like 1 o'clock in the morning because I relapsed. I self-harmed since I was 12. You probably already know that, blah, blah, but I relapsed pretty badly, to the point where I was losing blood and I was disease. So the cop came to the house, drove me to the hospital, took me in. Now here's what I want to talk to you about, and how unbelievably disgusting and pathetic this is. So I'm walking through the ambulance entrance with two policemen. Now you'd think that everybody would stop what they're doing and trying to see. Now my arms were not covered; they were just visibly bleeding. So I'm walking down the hallway. It's not busy. The emergency room is not busy. It doesn't seem to be any drastic problems. And I start walking down there, and every nurse looks at me, just gives me a take by, looks at my wrists, and walks away. Okay. And I'm starting to think, okay. And I'm sat down on a chair. Please just picture in your mind and realize that I'm bleeding profusely from my wrists here. Okay? In the middle of the emergency room. And so they sit me down on a chair and take my blood pressure, and the nurse takes my blood pressure, looks at my wrists, and then she just walks off. Now, you'd think that if you went into a fucking hospital or an emergency room with two cops, you'd think that someone will come to your side and help you out, seeing as you're struggling, you're crying for help, you need help, you're bleeding. Now, you'd think that, but no. So they shoved me in a fucking room. I'm sorry for my language, but this stuff pisses me off. They put me in a room with just a gurney, 4 walls, and sit me there with the two cops. I waited 3 hours just to talk to a psychologist. Want to know why? Because the crisis team were all in bed sleeping. Now, you tell me this. How the hell are we supposed to help these people who need help with self-harm, depression, anxiety, things like that, when we have slackers slacking on jobs that we need? We don't have a proper mental health system happening in Burlington. Never mind even Burlington, not even Ontario, or even Canada. We don't have anybody there. So you're asking me, and you're wondering, well, why are these people, committing suicide? It's such a tragic thing. Because nobody is there to help. It's simple as that. The staff and the faculty are they're not there to they're out for themselves. And they think that they can look at you and, diagnose you and give you a bottle of pills and send you on your way and think, oh, that's the easy fix. No, people need help. And I'm not going to go and say that what I did was a cry for attention. It wasn't. You can think it was. You can think what you want. I'm not even talking about myself right here. I'm talking about how pathetic and absolutely disgusting the mental health system is these days, and how many people aren't even trying to help. Now, my family has been struggling with this since I was 8 years old when I was diagnosed with depression. So, back then, things were easier as a kid. But once you get older, say I'm 22 now, it's kind of like they brush you off to the side. Because now the easy way is, oh, here, take this pill and you'll be fine. No. I mean, you're wondering why people, the two cops that took me into the hospital saw 6 suicides in 2 days. 6. One of which was a guy who didn't want to live whatsoever and was doing anything he could in his power to hurt himself because he was tired of everything. And nobody should ever be put in that position. And it's really starting to piss me off how much help I can't get. I was put on a waiting list this past year to see a psychologist because that's what I need. I was put on a waiting list, and unfortunately I do have to wait till January. But what about the people who have taken drastic measures to end their life, like overdoses and things like that. I have been in a psychiatric ward for a week. I spent a week in there back in March after trying to commit suicide to the overdose. I learned so much that the help in there should be the help that we get out here. The psychiatrist that I saw in there was perfect, but I can't. When I asked my family physician when I got out of the hospital, can I see this guy on a daily basis? Oh no, he only works in the psych ward. How many people are we going to lose because we don't have enough help, or they give us the easy fix? What am I supposed to do with endless hospital bracelets and ambulance bills? I mean, you want my fucking money because I tried to end my life because you won't fucking listen to me? Is that what you want? It's getting unbelievably out of control, and if nobody else is going to do something about it, I'm sure going to do something about it. And I have my family to support me, 100%. And it's come to the point where it's heartbreaking to see people suffering and going through extremely, things. They have things like helplines that you can call, but what is that going to do? Is that really going to stop someone if they feel so damn fucking low about themselves? Is that really going to stop them? You can only say so much. You can't understand what someone with a mental illness is going through. You can't understand someone who self-harms. You will never understand. You will never ever understand what that person goes through. But does that mean they don't deserve the help that they need, just the same as a diabetic who takes insulin every day, or a patient with a heart condition? And another thing I want to talk about is the way that people look at people with mental illness. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's in our human nature to fear what we don't understand. So if we don't understand something, we don't want to listen. The definition of a mental illness. Okay, now people think, oh, mental illness, they should be locked up away. They're probably, violent and everything. Well, you're wrong. You should probably go get educated before you say anything about mental illness. Absolutely anything. You can't go around and say, oh, this person's depressed. They're just sad. Get fucking educated. If more people went online, went into support groups, talked to doctors, and got educated on what the hell mental illness really is, then we wouldn't have this problem. Our society's view on mental illness is distorted, and it creates a stigma about certain mental illnesses. And a stigma is obviously like a mark of disgrace on someone's reputation. So, and it's disgusting. It makes me want to puke. It does, because the definition of a mental illness can be, it's like a condition that's characterized by an impairment of an individual's cognitive, emotional, or behavioral function, and caused by social, psychological, biochemical, genetic, or other factors such as infection or head trauma. So, why does a person need to be put down or be shamed on society for a biochemical reason? We are lacking the chemical in our brain. It is not it's not a character flaw, it's a chemistry flaw. We should not be put down just as much as anybody else who has cancer. Or what are you gonna go stigmatize someone who has cancer because they can't do things daily life because they're so sick? Well, that's the same thing with depression, same thing with anxiety, agoraphobia, schizophrenia, etc. It's the same. It's the society's views and the media news reports about what people say. The people that talk that stuff do not know what they're saying. They are not educated. And if more people got educated, maybe we wouldn't have this problem, and they would see it in the right way that we're supposed to see it. The way that, and even some psychologists need to get their asses out and get further educated. They look at their, every psychologist has a manual of mental health with every single diagnosis. How do I know this? Because I'm educated. I've educated myself on the struggles that I've been through for the past 10 years. Because I need to know what I go through and what other people go through and what other people may be hiding. It really just bothers me to a point where I want to do something about it, and I'm only one person, but I'll be damned if you fucking try to stop me. Because there's enough suicides, nobody should ever feel like they need to be put down because of a biochemical problem in the brain that they're not responsible for. No one chooses to be depressed, no one chooses to deal with anxiety, no one chooses to deal with schizophrenia and stuff like that. No one chooses to have a mental illness, just like nobody chooses to have cancer or a heart problem. So get educated, because if I hear any more bullshit out of anybody else's lives, or if you put down someone who self-harms, who deals with depression, you shouldn't even be talking in the first place. Because it's absolutely disgusting what people say. I have had the worst things thrown at me. I've had people say, nobody cares that you're depressed, oh, go cut yourself. You know what? You need to be careful with your words. Because not only me, but someone else could be suffering and you have no idea. And then the next day they could be gone. So, that's all I wanted to say, is that people need to get educated. And I'm sorry for my language. If you find it offensive, just tell me whatever. But I'm putting this on Facebook because I'm putting this everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, on all my social network sites because, and I don't claim to be some, expert. I'm not a doctor. But if you get educated and you understand more about mental health and what it is, then maybe we can get together and fix things and make things better for people who are suffering. So thanks for watching this, and I'm really sorry if I got mad, but it's gotta be done, and something needs to be done about it.